Okay, and we are here. We are live. So, guys, I'm your host, MCAlex21, and I'm here with Sergio again. How's it going, man?
Hi. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Fine.
That's good, that's good. So, today we're going to be just farming relics for Rhino Prime. Bro, I thought I invited you. What happened, man?
Yeah, I don't know, it failed.
Okay, received your information. Okay, so if you guys want to join my squad, my gamer tag is capital MCALEX21. Okay? Okay, word. For some reason, wow, hold up. Jeez. Okay, so let's, apparently the twin Grakatas really need help. The Burstone Prime, that, I'm gonna just use Burstone Prime for now, you did.
Sure. Yeah.
Let me, upgrade him first.
Need some help.
Yeah. Keep it real. You're the only feeling yourself. Walking the bridge, start feeling me. Sit with a man, thought he asked me. Running out of time. I love it. Let's see. Dude, should I switch out like rifle ammo mutation or split chamber
Ooh.
or speed trigger?
Damn. Nah, we're doing decent, so I don't know.
Or should I just format it?
Oh my god.
Should I?
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, I'm going to format my.
Yeah, I'm gonna format it. My Burston Prime actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? Burston Prime modded. Okay, so now it's level 1 again. Let's then can't seem to put anything else on. Wildfire Blast. Oof. Pyro rounds. Let's try something else. Wow, I just noticed something.
What?
Well, I totally messed that up hysterically. Apparently, That's the thing, do I really need rifle ammo mutation since I do have a carrier? It's like, you know,
I mean,
would it even matter? I
unless
doubt
you were
it.
doing like, yeah, unless you were doing like a very long mission.
Yeah, but we're just doing like a defense, so I don't
Yeah.
think. Well, that's. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm gonna give myself a little boost of like. Hold on, my reloading is 2 seconds. Go magazine warp. That will give me 68 magazine. Or I could go fast hands, which will bring me down to 1.5. Yeah, let's go with fast hands, you know? Everyone loves
Sure.
fast hands. I use this puppy. It's called the Graptine. Yo, this thing looks so amazing. Like, there are no stances for it. Jeez, feels so bad. This looks like a beauty. Ooh. Hold on, let's see. Oh wow, that looks so sexy. No, it does, bro. Yo, if you saw this, man, you'd be like, oh, jeez, dude. I don't need no white. I need more black. Oh, no, not it. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I can see it.
Huh?
I can see it.
Yeah.
You mean your sword, right?
It's a huge sword.
Yeah, no.
So
Wow.
big. Oh my gosh, if I put it all red.
I mean, goodness. Too intense for me.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's do it. Okay, do you remember that level that we were doing last time?
Uh, yeah, Io in Jupiter.
Are you sure that's where it was, dude?
Yeah.
You sure? Cause
Yeah.
hold on, no, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna look it up, okay, man? While I still can.
Alright.
Foreign. Let's see. Okay, drop locations, blueprint. Wait, we're doing the case chassis that we need. Meso M1. We need apparently. Meso M1. Let's see.
So yeah, many places.
Yeah. Okay, well, how about we go back? We go to the codex, you know, and then we could we could just, yeah, we could see the relics from there. Who else is on my channel? The universe. Well, also guys, this game is free, so just saying.
Amazing.
Yeah. It was Meso M1, right? Okay.
Yeah.
There's Phobos. Phobos. See, we got the Void, Pluto, Venus, Saturn. Anyway, let's go back to the relics because I can't seem to. Okay, so dude, can you look up Venus, Simpson, or there's Jupiter, IQ, Ceres, Venus, Cytherne, Cytherina, C-Y-T-H-E, or E-A-N.
Where? What?
No, on Venus.
Oh, on Venus.
C-Y-T-H-E-R-E-A-N. That's the level.
T-Y?
C-Y-T-H-E-R Cytherina.
I can't. Ah, yeah, I can't. Yeah.
What kind of level is it?
It's normal. Interception.
Interception, huh? Okay, no. Go to Romula. Venus, Romula.
Venus, Romula. Yes, defense infestation.
Infestation, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Teresa? Tessera, whatever.
Yeah, defense corpus.
Defense corpus, and what about Venera? Capture, huh? Yeah. Okay, let's do Tessera.
Okay.
Let's do it. this is also in public, so
Sure.
yeah, the music is awesome. Whoa, 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 the glitch up in here. Hold on, dude.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Watch for security systems.
oh, this is a good song. What? What? No, no, heck no. Oh wow, someone else joined. Word.
Yep.
Jeez, what the heck? Yeah, let's I'm trying to do something here, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, dude, that's ugly. Oh man, I can't even see myself.
the other guy is going for it. That.
Dude, you're an idiot. You know that? Bro, you're an idiot. Go help him before he kills himself. No, it's like, how stupid can you get?
Oh, they changed this level?
Yeah. This is not fun whatsoever, man. Wow, this is so bad, dude.
Changing your visual
Yeah,
settings?
I can't seem to maximize. Boom. There's still one more. Got him. Oh, is that a... Nope. Dude, you saw that?
What?
The drop ship, like,
Oh.
was about to drop out enemies, and I was like, nope, before it even got to the...
Good night.
Oh, I can't do this. Moving. What happened here? Okay, everyone died. Yeah, they totally changed this.
I mean, I don't know if I prefer it, but
I don't know, like, for some reason it's... Okay. Aiming on this is so difficult, man.
what are you using?
Burst on Prime.
Hmm.
You got him?
Yeah.
That didn't work. Where are the enemies? Jeez.
Like a mile away.
Yeah, I know, right? There we go. It's miles and miles away. Good shot.
Yo!
Yo, what's good?
What's going on?
Dude, nah, I'm just live, man.
Cool!
Just trying to get Meso M1, man.
Trying to get what?
Meso M1. Relic.
Oh, relic?
Yeah, we're on Venus, defense mission.
Alright. I'd join you, but I'm driving right now.
Oh, wow, dude.
What?
What?
Yeah,
You know how dangerous
I'm going
that is?
to New Jersey.
Oh, word.
I got bored. It's like a long drive.
Wow.
So I figured why not see if Discord can work over my car speakerphone.
Jeez, my aiming is horrible.
That
Yeah.
happens from time to time. They have medicine for that.
What? I'm not talking about medicine, I'm talking about my aiming.
Yeah, I know, they have medicine for that.
Oh, no. Oh.
You almost just ran someone over.
Oh, nice.
Holy crap. That was awesome.
Dude, remember, you're live, okay? So,
Holy shit.
you remember, you are live, so... Running... Okay,
Wait.
Beastman.
Wait, what does that mean? What can I not say?
You're running over people?
I'm not running over people, that truck was.
Huh. Let's see. Okay, word.
I am a safe driver.
Ah. Why are they hitting me?
Speakerphone is not as loud as I want it to be. It's the problem.
Yeah, well, apparently my dad has the volume on the V up all the way. So I can't even hear you.
Hey, I got an idea. I got a great idea for a Twitch stream.
What?
Twitch navigates a cross-country road trip. It's literally just Twitch making all of the major road decisions in a road trip.
Oh, dude, that was awesome. Dude, Sergion, did you see that?
What?
He was
No, I didn't.
he was up here.
Yeah.
I just shot him. Like, I was doing a glide. I just shot him. Well, dude, I can't do my stomp, so I can't really get him off that portable. Wait, dude. Tony.
Yeah.
So I got the twin Grakatas.
Uh-huh.
Are they good? Cause I can barely do any damage with them.
They're okay. They're not my favorite, but they're okay.
But the thing, can you have one Grakata and then two?
What?
Can you have two Grakatas like as your secondary and one primary?
You can have, yeah, well, I mean, like, that's what the dual Grakatas are for.
Yeah, but when you make the dual ones and you claim it, apparently your primary Grakata goes away. So it kind of sucks.
Oh, well, you can always make another primary Grakata.
True, I should. Dang it, Sergion.
Whatever.
Got my last kill, bro. Not cool. Wow. Yeah, they are not doing any damage, but my This will do a lot of damage.
This GPS wants me to take this exit in like 55 miles. I'm just gonna forget. What are you guys playing?
Warframe. Wait, what?
Yeah, no shit.
Give me that attitude,
What are you
boy.
actually doing in Warframe?
Defense on Venus.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm on this like really straight stretch of road that goes nowhere.
Oh, lovely.
It sucks. I don't even
Yeah.
have to turn. I just drive straight.
Are you on the Taconic or something?
The what?
Taconic?
I'm on 95.
Oh, Road 95. Okay, I see.
Yeah, I'm heading up from Maryland to New Jersey.
Huh. I see.
That would be awesome. I could totally do a YouTube live stream of a road trip.
It would be dangerous and cool at the same time.
Not if you do it right. Like, I've got everything on speakerphone, so all you have to do is like mount your phone to your dashboard and have it like broadcast webcam. Shit. Yeah, you guys, while you guys play Warframe, it is also your forced upon duty to keep me awake and motivated on this trip.
Really?
I believe in you.
Dude, you got my last kill again, dude. What's up, man?
I think I didn't kill him. The taxi.
Oh man, dude, dropship coming in.
Face.
Dropship. New one?
Face is getting wrecked.
Sure, why not?
There you go, bro. Word. Love it when the dropship is barely there. Like it's not even close. To the point and I just stomp and just kill all of them. And you just see bodies like flying out of the ship. Yo, what are you doing? You're just chilling here.
You know what I just noticed the other day? I saw like a Corvette, like a really high-end one, and it has like a spoiler at the back.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
like it like extends out of this spot just behind the window, and like it's two pieces that come together to form one spoiler, and it just does this sometimes. I don't know. I guess like the guy in the car
dude,
can actually activate it, but it is the coolest thing.
Good. Well, dude, I kind of like.
Following that guy to see if you do it again.
Oh, so basically the spoiler went up, huh?
Yeah, like it was just like.
You sure it was a
like, folded
Corvette?
up. I think it was a Corvette.
What did it look like? Like, did it have like a one?
Corvette on it.
Did it have like 4 exhaust pipes?
Probably. I wasn't looking at the exhaust pipe because I was too enamored by the spoiler popping up out
Then
of nowhere.
okay, well then the spoiler. Okay, only 2 cars that would have a spoiler pop up: Porsche or McLaren.
It might have been a Porsche, but I could have sworn it was a Corvette.
I think it was a McLaren, dude.
Really?
Corvettes do not have spoilers that go up.
Oh man.
You can't.
Well,
Dude.
whatever it was cool. Like, I totally wanted one.
Well, bro, you gotta work hard for it.
I mean, I could, but I mean, I just couldn't validate spending money on a car that I wouldn't drive.
That's my point. Why would you actually want one?
Like, I'd like to drive one. I wouldn't want to own one.
Walking it out, dude. Sergio, I'm walking it out.
Oh shit! KFC! I can get chicken!
Just the randomest crap I hear.
Oh my god. It's, I don't know. Entertaining.
Oh my god! Should I stop at the KFC?
Go ahead. Springer looking good.
I just had chicken. You can't have chicken right after having chicken.
Why not?
There's like a rule on that. It's like you can't go swimming 2 hours after you eat, but you can't eat chicken 2 hours after you eat chicken.
If you say so.
No, stomp it out, no, stomp it out, no, stomp it out. Oh gosh, I can't. That headshot all night.
Hey, you know what? If this whole YouTube stream like takes off, then I think you're gonna get like a trade deal or a sponsorship deal from KFC.
Yep, I know. I already signed an application and all that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, within like the last minute, they're like, oh my god, this guy's gonna be famous, and this dude on this guy's stream is totally talking about our chicken. We gotta get on that shit. We gotta do this. Don't let this one go, guys.
That chicken.
That chicken, dude.
What?
We're talking about that chicken.
That was the chicken at the KFC. Like you can hear them. It's so fresh that you can hear them clucking.
I don't know if that's sad or goodness.
Boss. Boy, that was my kill. Suck.
You guys gotta stop stealing each other's kills.
Bakak!
Mojo.
Huh? Nope, mine.
That is bad mojo. How many people have you called newbies since I've been gone?
Dude, I have not been playing for like a while now. I stopped playing some time.
Did you guys, you saw the thing, right? The dev stream from...
Yes, oh, the live stream, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, the new Stalker Tenno and all that.
Oh, there's a Stalker Tenno? I thought it was a Glass Tenno or something.
No, it was a Stalker Tenno, apparently. Apparently the Stalker is a Tenno.
Oh, you're talking about Excalibur Umbra?
Yes.
That's not Stalker. It's Umbra.
Oh.
Oh, cool. The closest frame that we have to Stalker is Ash.
Really?
I think.
Mine.
But did you see the rest of it? Like the whole open world you played?
Yes, I did. That was
So
awesome.
cool.
Katie was like, awesome.
You guys are just gonna like spearfish. Screw Warframe. Screw shooting people. I need to fish, dude. Stop
Be fishing
everything.
on that.
Just take off my jetpack, throw my weapons away, take this spear, and I'm gonna nail that fish. God damn.
Oh my
Who
god.
came up with that idea?
I got no idea, bro, but that's so funny. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Oh my gosh, I can't.
I'm just gonna spend like a whole day, like when that patch comes out, I'm gonna go into this new area. I'm gonna take the quest that lets me go into this new area or whatever it is, and immediately just fuck everything and fish. The whole day, just fish. I'm gonna go out, buy spears, fish.
Just fish.
Just fish. If Grineer come my way, I'll throw a spear at them maybe, but then like back to fishing. Nobody. Good time. It's my time. Fish.
Nope. Extract. Extract. Yes, extract. Well, we tried it, but didn't work, man. Didn't work.
I mean, we could go for Jupiter, but...
Dude, where would I get a Meso M1 really easily? The Void? Tony, the Void, right?
I don't
Master
know.
Joe.
Media page on this stuff.
Dude, oh wow, I'm on 90 days played, 99 days played.
I'm a third of the way there.
Really? That's sick. That's lit.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna like...
Burger King. God, this is the road of temptation.
My
Jesus
fault.
might have roamed the desert for 40 days or 40 nights, but he didn't have to walk on this road.
Yo, dude, that was perfect. Oh my gosh, that was so perfect, dude. Yo, props.
I'm suffering here, man.
You're suffering?
I'm suffering.
The suffering is real, bro.
The only thing that could possibly make this worse is if there was a Pizza Hut.
Yo, and there will be. Don't worry about that. There will be a Pizza Hut.
So how many sponsorship deals have you just gotten in the last 5 minutes?
Sponsors?
Yeah.
Like subscribers, you mean?
No, sponsors. KFC, Burger King, Pizza
No,
Hut.
dude, I haven't gotten any because it takes a while, dude. You can't just expect to have.
Are you telling me you're not like an internet superstar yet?
No, not yet, dude, because I've been doing this for a little, like, seriously, I haven't been doing so good on this, you know?
Well, you know what? I don't know how this stuff happens. I just thought it was like magic.
No.
Do you have to pay off a wizard?
No, bro.
Can I meet this wizard? I want to be internet famous.
Wow, bro, you need help.
Do I have to sing a song about Fridays?
Yo, Sergio, what was the Void mission that we did for that Meso?
Jerry subs and pizza.
I think it was...
Let me check.
God.
Goodness. I forgot.
Oh, it was Annie Hepit.
Tyrannus was the one that we were doing, but I don't know.
No, I mean in the Void, man.
Yeah, in the Void.
My phone is
Tyrannus, yeah, there. Yep, Tyrannus or Annie, which is survival. I think survival is much easier, bro.
Yeah, survival, sure.
Do it.
My phone is. It's very hot.
Give me a second. No, I think I will.
I have a hot phone.
Oh wait, dude, no.
Oh.
Sorry. No, I just noticed something. Jesus. Hold on, Hold on, yeah, no. I have some other people joining.
Okay. I'll be back in a second.
Dude, there's this truck that's going like 20 miles an hour under the speed limit. I don't know whether I should like deal with it or throw rocks at him.
Just deal with them.
So that's a no on throwing rocks then. Like I shouldn't do that. Am I understanding that correctly?
Dude, you should hear the music I'm playing.
Dude, you can't play music.
I can.
What?
I can. I haven't even gotten penalized yet.
No, I mean, like, if it does get famous and they hear that you have like copyrighted music, then you'll be shut down.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. Like, it has been such a big thing on YouTube.
So stupid, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I agree, but I'm just letting you know. Like, Game Grumps is super strict on this. Like, they can't turn on a song for more than like a couple of seconds, because I think if you have more than 7 seconds of a song, then you are breaching copyright law or something.
wow. Huh. Okay.
You can play the music for yourself, you just can't play it on your screen.
Well, too late, man.
Bummer. Well, it was nice. It was, the internet thing was nice while it lasted.
First of all, no one is penalizing me.
That's because you're not famous enough yet.
Good. So, dude.
It's gonna happen.
Are you done bitching?
No, I'm just warning you.
Well, I'm not even close to being famous yet.
Okay. Yo, this guy's gotta stay on his lane, dude.
He can't.
Why? I totally almost got hit by this one guy. I was driving back home, and like, I could feel like the gust of wind pass by me on the right, as this one dude who was like, he almost took off my mirror.
Really?
And swerving around the road, he literally brushed against a truck, but I guess that truck didn't really care, and then kept going. And then swerved around and like swerved into the shoulder, back onto the road, cut a guy off. Like, that guy was so dangerous. And I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna slow down and let this guy do his business. I mean, that dude was past drunk, way past drunk.
Yeah, he could have been, dude. That's a problem, man. I don't deal with like people like that. Oh, yo, my son.
He was obviously drunk. He hit a guy and kept going.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And after all,
you're cutting in and out.
Almost hitting me. I guess the truck.
Yo, you're cutting out, man.
Oh yeah, probably because I'm in the middle of nowhere. Nowhere, USA. Population me.
Yeah, really.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
They said it couldn't be done. They said it couldn't be done. There's a Pizza Hut rest area.
Yo, I'm done.
Oh god.
Yo, that's so weird, man.
Oh my god.
You fucking son.
This is like heaven on a road. Heaven made you fat.
This is on my gaming PC, Abby.
What?
No, I'm talking to this one of my friends, Abby.
Who's Abby?
One of my friends from college, okay?
Oh.
Yeah, she asked me if I had a PS4. I was like, nah.
Like,
yo, where's Sergion at? Yo.
The reason I asked is because
okay.
I thought like somebody was in this channel the entire time, and I didn't realize it.
Really? Shoot.
Well, yeah. Oh my god, there's a Waffle House. This road needs to stop. It just... Jeez.
Okay,
Can't
so
resist.
you're cutting in and out, yo. Chill.
It's probably because I'm just in like a cell phone dead zone or something.
Yo, Sergio, you good?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Sure.
Okay, so this time I am
Well,
going Grakatas and Star Lather, whatever the magic of that is called. Okay, that's my outline. Let's do it. Wait.
Sure.
Dude. Log in. Hold on a minute, bro. You know what you want.
Bounce this road.
Drop that.
Pepper,
Wake up in the morning and get all that. You want to allow. Apply that fusion. Why do I have that? I'm probably gonna need reach. And that. Oh yeah, buddy. Okay, bro, whenever you're ready, like, let's do this.
Let's go.
do it. Do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Do it.
Yo, we're going Annie.
Going what?
We're going Annie.
What is going Annie?
Void.
Oh,
E-N-I,
I
Annie.
thought that was like a new phrase, like because I'm old and I don't stay up to date with all of these newfangled phrases you college folk have. Like I thought going Annie is like, do it, balls to the wall.
Literally, dude. Balls to the wall. Retarded flying.
Oh, wait, hold
Or
on.
bus.
Is the phrase balls to the wall or balls to the walls?
Balls to the wall, dude.
So it's
You're
plural?
Yeah.
So you're putting your balls on multiple walls?
Yep.
Dude! What? That sounds painful. I don't want to use that phrase anymore.
No, it's balls to the walls.
Why?
Balls to the walls.
I don't even like the imagery. There's nothing...
You know
nothing
why
appeal-
they...
that killed it for me. Just one S killed it for me. This bitch behind me better turn off his brights.
Oh. What?
That looks so cool.
Guys, I don't know where the New Jersey Turnpike is. I just see a big river.
You guys, let's find a good place to camp.
Should I caulk my car and attempt to ford the river?
Really, bro?
Should I
Headshot.
this is clutch. I've played enough Oregon Trail to know that crossing the river pretty much makes or breaks your game.
Ah, oh, whoa. Hey, dude. Check this out. Dude.
Where are
Sergio,
you? Oh, you're what?
I'm all the way down here. Oh, there
What?
you are. Yeah.
Pass. Not pass. Pass your mind.
Secret. Good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go! Where's everyone? Oh.
Why is this toll so expensive?
Oh, dude, I just flashed.
Damn.
I think it's me, yeah.
My wallet.
Dude, I flashed again.
What? No.
I think I'm the one that flashed. Everyone to me.
Did you say you were getting flashed? Dude, report that. That's harassment.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. Done.
That isn't cool.
Oh,
it's
flash.
not funny. Dude. Right-click the dude's name. Report. Harassment.
Dude, it's not... Oh, actually, no, never mind. It's somebody else that got...
But then, oh goodness. I can see what it was.
How many miles? Hey guys, track my phone or do some like hacker magic. Track my phone and tell me how far I need to go to find New Jersey Turnpike.
To find what?
I'm driving to the New Jersey Turnpike. I need to find it. I don't know where it is.
Oh.
It could be anywhere.
Dude, shield Spectre over here. You having fun without me? Jeez, bro.
That's fun. Wow, being on this chat is really passing the time.
Sorry.
What?
Are you sure it's passing time?
No, it's a good thing. I want to pass time.
Headshot. Wall in the air. Balls to the walls.
Also, yes. Yes.
You have your balls to the walls.
Spot on. Soon everybody will be saying it.
That headshot, bro. Whoa. Your turn.
Why is it so cold in here?
Damn, bro.
Oh no, there's the Pizza Hut.
Ah, headshot.
Maryland Women in Service Monument. Are you kidding me? I can have pizza and I can admire women who are in military service. This is something that can only happen in America, guys. This is American freedom. This is our tax dollars at work. Pizza and admiring women in the military. What the fuck?
Sergio, can you give me a hand
What?
over here?
Sure.
Hey, dude. Come on. How is this person?
Okay, there. Ooh, loot.
Sergio, just go and carry him for a while.
Sure, why not?
Wait your turn.
Wait your turn? What, are people lining up to get shot by you?
Come on.
Dude, why is this truck going so... Oh, I'm going slow, that's why.
Get over
Ah,
and go.
makes sense.
Get over and go.
Oh no, darkness is falling. There's no more daylight. It's up to me, my wits, and my headlights.
Ah, headshot.
I can't handle the pressure. Too much. Too much pressure.
Dude, I love this gun.
Alright, so I really want to be like playing video games right now rather than just driving on this straight road. So I think you guys should do me a solid, and one of you can narrate what's going on in your Warframe game as if you were doing sports coverage on it.
Well, I'm just, this guy just trying to whack me with a cleaver.
There you go.
The guy's also trying to whack me, and I told him to wait for his turn. And then, oh my gosh, this guy just ran into a wall like an idiot. Oh my gosh, there's an ancient.
So from this description, I feel like you're fighting the most incompetent army in the world.
Well, I'm Rhino, so.
Like everybody's just charging you with cleavers and running into walls?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a sad army.
Oh, also, like, dude, there's so many of them, and I just, there they are, there they go.
There's a Dunkin' Donuts?
Why is it that I'm always alone on these missions? These, like, stormtroopers, they can't even aim.
Those are completely different roles, but you get what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh. Come on, somebody else hit me.
Alright. At 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is where...
Somebody help me over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jersey.
Everything okay? Goodness, where is the... Oh, they're here.
yeah, they're all here, dude.
I'm not playing.
Clean. No, the ancient.
Yeah, kill the ancients first before you kill anything else. Maybe the ancients boost their health.
Dude, the clouds that I'm seeing right now, they look angry.
Lovely.
They look like they're gonna open up and dump rain and destruction on my car. I'm scared.
Perfect. Oh my gosh, I'm running for my life. Everyone just go fly. This thing again. Oh, for that. So Sergio just did his ice wave, or no, avalanche. We're in the dig and there's a freaking army of them. What?
Oh, yeah, thanks. Oh, good.
Okay, so Abby is going to be playing the game also, which is on PS4, and what the heck did this guy just do?
Oh no. Oh. You're gonna subject another one of your friends to me? I am so sorry.
This thing is doing nothing whatsoever.
What?
Okay, apparently I'm not doing any damage to them. Somebody help?
Oh, goodness, I'm going to freeze them or something.
It's called avalanche.
I mean, I know, but...
Alex, I don't know why, but your voice is a lot quieter than Sergio's. Where your mic at? Where your mic at? Oh my god, this truck driver is drunk. I was gonna ask you.
I'm gonna ask you to leave.
You're gonna get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna tolerate your crap today. You can go take that crap and
Oh my
just go on the
gosh.
side of the road and take the crap.
Dude, there's too many of them.
Yep.
the most nonchalant action movie I've ever heard. Hey, there's too many of them.
Run for your life, or cut them into pieces.
Probably leave. Probably.
No. Where's the other guy? Is he being stupid?
Yes.
Yo, bro, how about you come and help us?
It's the wall.
Like, for real.
The wall of Warframe. If there's another person on your team,
Oh no.
it's like a 95% chance that he or her.
You guys even listening to me? Come help us. Come on, there's a freaking mosh pit up in here.
I'm driving over there. Give me an hour.
You know what I'm talking about? These idiots that are playing with us. They don't want to do crap.
Yeah.
Wow, apparently they're like, hey, you know what? What the heck? I just did a wall run on one of the guys.
This drunk driver just passed me. I gotta pass him again. He's probably not drunk. He just doesn't know how to drive a truck.
Dude, if you have Avalanche, please use it.
Okay.
I have Avalanche.
Now, I just shoot them because their armor is all the way, does that ancient.
There it was. So much easier.
Dad just fell asleep. Snoring. Oh my gosh, Sergio, oh my gosh, dude.
What?
So fast.
Okay, that works too.
Driving faster. Dude, I don't want to break the speed limit. Come on, man.
Oh my gosh, dude, this... You know what, why aren't they helping us?
I don't know, they feel special?
We clarified this, that your teammates are stupid.
Additional life support has arrived.
So is this truck driver.
Okay, now, thank you. Jeez.
Guys, I'm about to cross into Delaware, guys.
Hey,
It's like leveling up in real life.
you're not leveling up.
I am leveling up. I just gained experience and an achievement.
Dude, oh, Meso, nope, we need M1, right?
Yeah.
Unfamiliar territory.
Hey, Sergio, how about we stick with this guy for now?
Where? Oh.
Gotta look on the map, dude. Just, there you go. I think this guy is too fast. Whoa, there's a lot going on.
And the shit hits the fan.
Get ready for a capsule.
What the? Tony, was that you?
Yeah?
That was you. Okay.
What?
No, well,
Why?
you just, no,
Oh.
Did that not sound like me?
no, that did not. Oh man, I hate this. Oh, dude. Oh my god,
What?
I hate
Did
this.
you get this way?
Get ready to kick the bucket.
Okay, what are we doing?
Additional
Oh,
life
Whoa,
support
look at
has
that
arrived.
lightning!
okay, dude, you
Oh,
gotta
shit,
get to the extraction, the
Oh.
first point.
Do you want to go?
Do it.
Guys,
Oh, I hate this one.
I'm gonna get hit by lightning and die. It was nice knowing you.
It's fine. It's fine.
I love you both. You've
Okay,
been
I'm
great
in.
Okay, you got it. Goodness.
Okay, I'm in.
Sorry, Tom.
You get it? Oh wow, only me and you got it. Open every container, dude.
Yeah. Okay, cover me for a second. I need
Why?
to go open a thing.
What?
Do it. Don't ask questions. This is the
What do
army.
you-
This is the military. Just do it.
What are you doing, dude?
Cover his ass.
4?
Go, go, go.
My lord, bro, you're gonna do the death.
I'm
of me.
here, I'm here.
Okay, dude, get over, like, gotta, like, come over here and over there. Gotta
Yeah,
open up
there,
all these
there.
boxes and
Thanks.
you will get some good mods out of this. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Now you know what.
Okay, so I think we are safe here?
No, there's no such thing as safe.
Oh, the
Oh.
life.
Life support.
Run.
Shoot.
Oh, good.
I'm in Delaware.
Dumb. I'm done.
Delaware.
Good, I'm not recovering your head.
I mean, that's an achievement.
Oh my gosh.
It is. It's like a platinum trophy.
Just run for the life. We can handle them later.
I can't because
You guys are doing like
life
launch
support,
trophy
life
shit
support, life
and
support.
platinum trophy shit.
Okay, good. We'll activate another one over here.
Okay.
Now leave.
You're about to get another achievement for paying a toll.
Wait, you paid a toll?
I'm about to pay a toll.
Play dead like. You play dead like.
I'm hungry. I want chicken. Why did I
Go.
pass up that KFC?
Why didn't you get it when you passed the KFC, dude?
Because I told you the rule. I told you. Do you want me to
Okay.
get cramps? Do you want me to get cramps and drown? Yes?
Kill that agent first and then handle.
Where is it? Ah, there he is.
Dude, protect my warframe, please. Please protect my. Yeah, because I'm.
Yeah.
Perfect, thanks.
Yeah, no.
Guard him. The soul
Stupid agents, every single time. You again.
New Jersey Turnpike.
Okay, apparently one of these guys are draining my energy for some reason.
New Jersey Turnpike.
I've delivered another life support capsule.
I'm gonna pass it.
Headshot.
Guys, it's too dark out here. I'm scared.
What our Tenno operative just
Neo
found.
and 7.
They could not do this without him.
What?
Neo and 7.
That doesn't help my that doesn't help me.
Life support has been
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, you saw that. You were like, oh gosh, it's an agent. And then I was like, nope.
Okay.
I'm only an hour and a half away.
Oh, wait.
I'm
Is that you,
naked.
Sergion, doing that?
Yeah.
That's you? Yo, you did the quest, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm about to die. Wait, what? Dude, I
Where
have
are you?
Dude, I
Oh,
have
there.
energy and I have shield.
Thanks. Yeah.
There's a sign here that says drunk driving kills.
Dude.
No shit.
Well, I mean, I feel like the people who are drunk driving probably need that reminder. You think anybody ever drives drunk and then looks at one of those signs like, oh shit, what am I doing with my life?
Then they realize, oh wow, I'm dead.
It's like, I gotta get to the AA meeting, stat. And then they continue to drunk drive to the AA meeting.
Yeah, pretty much.
another life support capsule is now available.
Jeez,
Nice cleanup.
Yeah, totally. Oh, look at that. That's a head. Oh, dude, that's a head.
Cute?
That's a head. So he got ahead of himself.
Oh. Oh.
That was horrible.
I'm gonna have to turn off the guys.
Did somebody just...
Where he? No.
Where is he? Oh my
Uh,
gosh, please don't tell me he's like all the way over there where we can't
Yeah,
even reach him.
Are you trying to find
I
the body?
don't
of the
think so. Okay.
Dude, my thing is glitching, so I can't even see him.
No, he
Nope.
died.
This is why you stick together, idiot. I just called him an idiot for the... So he heard me. Dude, he actually heard me.
He said something?
No, I told him, this is why you stick together, you idiot.
Oh. Goodness.
Like, for real.
Yeah, I
Jeez,
mean-
this guy is like... Okay, dude, I'm gonna need some help over here.
No. Try to run back here if you can.
How many times do I have to shoot you in the face?
7 times. Is that right?
No,
Oh.
people don't want to die. Oh gosh. Now I'm trying to-
67 times.
Oh, dude. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm
Dude.
here.
Where? No, you're not. Where are you? Oh, there you are.
I'm here. I'm sure I'm here.
He's there in spirit, dude.
Okay.
Giving you a soul boost.
More like
Nice.
yeah, very nice. What did? Yo, you wanna?
That's halfway, and I've still got 3/4 of my gas left.
Or where's this other guy? Can't even like. Oh wow, that was amazing what I just did. I was like, yep, not giving it. Yeah,
Alright.
boy.
Is that the New Jersey Turnpike? No.
Argon crystal, dude, over here.
Hey.
Yeah, where I am.
Life support activated.
Where is the other guy? He's very far away. Good.
Whatever. He's doing him. He's doing him. Okay.
Yeah.
Only
Sure.
yeah, he's doing himself. Okay. Having fun with that balls in the walls.
He's doing. Did like Warframe get this huge patch while I was gone that allows for explicit acts, or am I just missing? Is this a new animation pack or something?
Do it yourself. That's the new patch.
Did they like install all of the Grand Theft Auto 5
Where are they?
animations into
A shot.
Warframe?
Oh. Yo, sit down over here.
One
Where-
I want in particular.
Oh. What? What? No, where are you?
Oh,
Oh, you're a
yeah,
bot?
hey.
What?
How?
Bullet jump maybe?
Oh.
Dude. No, over here, bro. Dude, over here, man.
I'm
Right where I
seriously
am.
blind. Okay, I see you.
Now go up this way. You see that? Look up.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
oh, thanks.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, life. Yeah.
Like those idiots, they're not. Oh, dude, ancient. Shot. Dude, oh my gosh, I'm shooting him in the face and he's not dying. Okay, there we go. Oh, dude, that was awesome. Oh, what the? Moderation.
Or
What did we get for the last,
I think we got credits.
oh, did we? Really? Oh man, that's me, bro. Ha! Really, boy, you're gonna extract right now?
oh man,
But you stick together with us instead of bleeding out. And dude, I'm pissing him off so much.
He's bleeding out. Where is? No, no, just no.
No, don't even. I'm trying like as hard as I can to get to you, but bro, you're an idiot for going so far away, man. Glad you died.
He's going to quit. Like,
Yeah, watch. He's gonna like quit and be all pissy, and he's like, I will never fight again. Like, boy, well, this is what happens when you're an idiot.
good lord, man.
Really?
I feel like I trained a monster.
Dude, actually, wait, Surgeon, get over here. Yeah, they're gonna need help.
I'm here.
Oh, that's why there's trapping.
Are we really extracting? Come on. Ah, fine, whatever.
Dumb bitches.
That was fun.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, it was, but
But
weird,
dumb.
dude. It's just dumb. It's just really, really. Oh man, that was really irritating. You know that?
Yeah, and then having to run for them. And
Yeah, like for real. Like, you know what, dude? Let's do a defense. It was much easier.
Sure.
In time, you're gonna crash. Okay, what weapon should I use?
For deeper?
I got Wukong. Let's
I mean-
go, sexy. But I'll probably die in minutes. Go Oberon, should I? Then I can plant some weed. It'll be weedy.
Sure, if you want.
Yeah, there we go. Hold up, I wanna see something.
Sure.
Oh, I only got one. Hmm. Okay, yeah, this song needs to die. Nope, this song needs to die. This song also needs to die. That's another. There we go. Let's see.
How can I have like 101% crit chance?
100.
101%.
The way crits work, that if you have anything over 100,
Yeah?
what is going on here?
What?
Hold on. So if you have over 100, you basically get a chance for like a mega crit.
A red crit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an orange crit now.
Orange.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
So if you get over 200% crit chance, then you have a chance for a red crit. It's like 3 times the crit.
So I would deal, like I have times 4 multiplier, I would deal times 12?
I think it would be like a times 8 or something like that. I don't know how it's done.
Sounds ridiculous. Okay.
that lightning, oh my gosh! I'm gonna get murdered.
Stuff going on here?
Yep, bro.
I'm on a
it
road
is.
trip.
Oh god.
Yeah, I'm broadcasting live from the speakerphone in my car.
Drive safe?
I'm
Too
not
late.
like holding my phone tied.
Yeah, no, I know what you're doing. I'm just, yeah, okay.
I think I'm driving safe. I haven't hit anyone yet.
That's not what we were talking about, but okay.
Keyword yet. Anyway, what's going on?
Just trying to hunt for relics. No?
Dude, Todd, you came at just the right time because they need help. They're
I
Yeah.
they're
can
just-
help.
Just sucking ass.
Yeah, we were gonna do a defense mission,
I mean that in the
In the
best
void.
possible way.
I mean, if it's in a good way, like, I'd be fine, but...
Exactly.
okay, well,
I didn't want
Like,
to
they're
repeat
good,
what
they're
you just
good
said.
at it.
They're not great at it.
Doing that. They're good at it. But it's still, I mean, like, when it all comes down to it, it's still sucking ass.
Gotcha.
It's like not the thing that you want to be good at.
okay, bro, I am... reasoning the third.
I'm about to
Okay.
take a bridge.
Okay, so
How
we're
big of a
gonna...
trip do you have ahead of you?
I'm going to New Jersey.
Ah, that's not too bad.
Nah.
Okay, so basically, so we're trying to get a Meso M1 relic. You know?
Oh, look at the Delaware Bridge. It's pretty.
Also, what?
Hmm?
What?
I just got host migrated.
Why?
I have no idea, you tell me.
I wonder if I could make 77 miles for this much gas.
How much do you have left?
I don't know, at least 4 gallons.
Yes, you can definitely make 77 miles.
No,
Okay,
that's
guys, you guys are echoing.
No, it's probably closer to 3 gallons.
You're cutting it close there. And I think I'm echoing off of... Hold on, let me see.
Hold on, this is defense anyway, so...
Depends on whether or not I hit traffic. If I hit traffic, I'm gonna have to stop and get gas.
Echo!
Yeah, dude, you are.
Not much I can do about that. Something tells me it's... I think I'm
What a
echoing
cool
through
bridge.
Tony's
I love
speaker.
this bridge.
Yeah, I just heard that. Just heard that again. I was like, what?
What about?
Yeah. No, you're...
What'd you say?
No, you're right. Todd is echoing from
Am
the
I getting?
speaker.
Are you,
Slightly more silently.
Yeah. I just heard it again. But whatever. Retarded flying.
Yeah, I'm hearing you too, so yeah.
Our position has been compromised.
did you see that light? See that light?
Reinforcements arrive.
But it was cool. Todd, I think I'm actually going to be passing Philly on the way there.
Yeah, you are.
Hollow ground? Should I?
actually just passed Mortal Will.
Yeah, weed. Nice.
Stupid ass Ed Sheeran song is stuck in my head. Not the terrible one, the left. It's terrible. I think there's someone's music, I think.
Oh, okay.
There's a service area.
Dude,
Maybe I
are you
should be
serious right
responsible
now?
for stopping
With the laser.
gas.
Okay, who turn on the laser? Newbie, save it 2468. Did you do it?
Stop calling him newbie.
We were all newbies once.
Yeah, but this
Yeah,
guy is
seriously,
just,
you were a newbie. I didn't call you that shit.
it's like he needs to know his place.
That's called being an asshole.
Literally.
Ah, what is this exit? Man, I almost missed it. Exit's creepy. I don't want to be here. I'll get pulled out of my car and terrible things will happen.
Ha! That headshot. You should have seen that.
I totally thought he was like laughing at the fact that I was about to get pulled out of my car and terrible things happening to me. Whoa!
I mean, where are you?
New Jersey. So, no, actually I'm in Delaware. So I'm not in danger zone yet.
Yeah, Delaware's fine. Just stop at the Welcome Center.
You guys just chilling over here.
There is some lightning going on here though. It's really cool, but it's closer and closer.
Dude, I got the front.
Yeah, welcome to the rain, I guess.
I'm not even
It
doing
was supposed to storm
anything.
you, didn't it?
Yeah. This guy is just chilling over here. Yeah.
There is so much lightning.
That's lovely.
If I die, I'm gonna miss you guys.
Okay.
Todd. I wanna miss you less now. Wow, where is this road? Where am I right now?
You must have gotten off at some weird exit.
GPS told me to do it.
I don't know how many headshots I just got, but that was sick. Mine.
This road is dark.
Mine. I killed him. Yeah, headshots do I have? Dude, I got 24 headshots. Check it. Dude, 24 headshots with this gun. I love it. I got the front.
I can hear music.
What?
I can hear someone's music.
That's mine. Really, boy? Boy, get out of here, okay? This is my spot. Oh, that headshot. Oh, he got a little too ahead of himself.
Really moved joke twice.
What?
Made that joke twice. Ahead of himself. itself.
Oh, whoops.
I hope it doesn't start raining really hard while I'm on this sketch-ass road.
Don't say that.
That's like the worst thing that can happen right
You're
now.
just gonna jinx yourself at this point.
Worst. Right now. And if it started raining while I'm on this sketch-ass road.
Headshot.
RNGesus is about to take a huge shit on my car.
If it rains, technically it's gonna clean your car.
It's cloud shit, man. Apparently I've only got 70 miles to go, but it's saying that for some reason packing on a couple of extra minutes to that, so I'm probably making traffic right now. Good lord, look at all that lightning.
70 miles is gonna take you at least an hour.
I feel like the plot of powder is going down somewhere in that field. Nobody knows that movie. I don't know why any of you know that movie. In case you guys are wondering, there's like this albino dude with special powers that gets struck by lightning like 100 times in the field. Not like the end of the movie. Spoilers. Spoilers. I meant to put spoilers.
Yeah, who cares?
Dude, I'm sure this road would be a lot more pleasant and nice if it wasn't almost black with lightning.
I really have no idea where you are right now.
I have no idea.
What was that? The fuck was that?
Really?
There's like no one on this road.
Just get back onto a highway, man.
GPS is telling me to be on this road. I don't know why, because
May I ask where you're actually going?
it looks like this road is going straight into this like lightning terror zone, where it's just been constant lightning flickering from this nasty looking cloud.
May I ask what city in Jersey you are actually going to?
I don't know, there's like a Baptist church here.
I mean your destination, like...
Oh, I'm going to Wildwood.
Oh god.
Really?
Yeah, who knows
Boy.
where the heck you're gonna end up.
Well, say one more time.
I've taken this trip 3 times so far, and I've never taken this route before. Or maybe I have, I just don't recognize this road. It's black and lightning.
I vaguely remember, like, yeah. There's a back road. I forget what exactly it's called, but I remember a back road. It's like
Oh, you can
1 or 2 lanes the whole way. No one ever takes it.
I'd feel better if I had like a gas station. It's like a zombie town. Totally expect zombies.
I think I know where you are. I just have no idea what the place is called.
It's called Bumfuck Nowhere.
Oh, what
The
the?
full name. Oh, is that a gas station? Oh
That's
shit,
fine.
I'm saved. It's like literally the only thing that's lit up. in this goddamn town.
Necessary 2, nope.
What the
Come
fuck?
on.
Alright, you guys get to join me as I get gas. Boats, New Jersey.
Aren't you supposed to make someone else get it for you?
Yeah, you're right, I think. Where's the dude? Pre-cashier before. It is unlawful to serve yourself. Okay, good. So I am in New Jersey officially. Get my card out. Such a dumb law.
Jeez. People coming up. Up.
Guys, there are no dudes here because this is a goddamn ghost town.
Did you expect?
I expected service, damn it.
You probably have to go in and like ask someone.
I'm gonna do that. If I die, oh, here he is. Good. Hey, Miguel. Oh. Signs? Regular things. Yep. Let's go on with this. I'm from out of town, so I'm not used to smoking something like that.
That was fun.
I just realized I forgot to turn my sentinel on. Whoops.
Nice spot. Boy, get the out of here. Good get. Listen, like some people.
Gas attendant didn't kill me.
I mean, he's paid to do his job, so.
I mean, with everybody out here, you can probably get away with murdering a dude. It seems like that kind of place. Just like murder dudes. Go on with your life. Murder one dude a month. That's your
Yeah, it
quota.
seems like you guys are having fun.
You have some disturbing thoughts, dude.
Well, you know, when it's pitch black and there's lightning everywhere, these are the sorts of thoughts that just come around naturally.
Really? Yes,
There are no lights and no cars on this road.
Enjoy it.
Save? What are you doing? Ah, they're fighting themselves. Boy, let them destroy themselves, okay? Such an idiot.
Oh, there it is.
Yes, there it is.
You wanna
Do it. Yes, again, that's what I won.
should probably leave at 20.
Yeah. So basically, it's like, basically it's wave 15.
Whoa! That lightning was red!
That's
What?
creepy.
Good lord! I'm gonna die! Oh, there's a graveyard!
Perfect.
I'm fucked!
Oh,
And that was left of it.
that's what's left of them.
Oh, but at least there's McDonald's, so I can have some chicken nuggets and I'm roasted alive.
Nuggets.
Dude, you always gotta protect the McNuggets.
To the walls. How many
Oh, this is
headshots
a
I've
big
gotten?
graveyard.
Dude, I've
This
gotten
whole
96
fucking
headshots.
graveyard.
Dude, I've gotten 96 headshots.
Dude, there are graves
The headshot
everywhere.
master now. I think nobody
Guys,
else gotten that many headshots.
I'm not comfortable with this anymore.
Why are you still there?
I'm trying to leave.
Try harder.
I can't go past the speed limit. It's illegal. Oh, it's an actual town now. All the lights are out, so it's really hard to tell. This town is the least inviting town I've ever been to.
So now we have this. Will help? Nah. Yeah.
Like, this is the town where everybody owns a shotgun.
Never mind, dude. Got them all. I'm gonna need some help.
I like this town. It wasn't like pitch black.
Wow, 2 heads, 1 shot.
That sounds like a really disturbing porno.
Yeah, pretty much. Kinda is, doesn't it? I wonder how many headshots I'm gonna get after this.
You have a store dedicated just to dairy? Serious? Does anybody want milk? And only milk? Butter, maybe? Cream? Cheese?
Will help.
I guess there is a lot of dairy for that. Yogurt?
Hang on.
Ice cream?
Okay, we good.
There's another gas station. still has his Christmas lights up. I feel like he might be dead.
Nah, some people just leave them up. I've seen worse.
Oh, look, an antique furniture store. I don't see many of those nowadays. It's just lightning constantly. Like, it's just constant flickering of the clouds. It doesn't stop.
This is too funny. This is just too funny. There's just body parts everywhere.
Look, Excalibur from the stone.
So much fun. I can't. Dude, that's...
Like, maybe it's
Sergio, come on, man. That's my spot.
guy.
What?
Sergio, come on, man.
I'm
That's fine.
just taking stuff.
What did Sergio do?
He's taking my awesome spot.
Doesn't know him.
Whoa, okay, that guy just blew. I think I've gotten more headshots than anyone else in here.
Bubble.
Yeah, Sergio, bubble.
I'm away.
Thank you.
You guys aren't gonna leave me, are you?
Oh, why would we? Oh,
I die when I die.
a shot. People are getting a lot of heads. With lead.
Extraction is ready.
Yeah, we good. Basically, got one.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Yeah, no, that was really good. Guess how many headshots I got?
101.
How does lightning
129.
That was close.
Dude, that's impressive, right? Come on, that's impressive. Like, 129 headshots? I'm screening shot that. Should we do that again? That was so much fun.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Hey,
Let
wait,
me
wait.
mod up some stuff though. Hang on.
Yeah, I gotta mod some cool, some good.
plastered on my windshield? Gross.
Also, Tony, it seems like you're echoing from my channel. My stream, YouTube. Reason.
Oh.
I think we're just echoing through his phone.
Maybe.
Car speaker mode, because that almost always produces feedback. I've got you on my phone built-in speakerphone.
Yeah, which is the weird
I
part.
assume that meant. Yeah, I assume that meant that it would be able to detect when sound was coming out, so it would mute my own. Guess not.
Yeah, dude, Toxic does fusion, right?
Does what?
Fun.
I've got less than a third of the trip left. I might actually make it. The only thing scarier than the lightning right now is the fact that between the cars that are coming and the cars that are going, there are 100 miles per hour worth of difference between us. And this is a 2-lane road and the lanes are small.
Yeah.
All it takes is one drunk asshole.
Okay,
Yeah.
you ready?
You know what? Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, hold on. Oh, let me do something very, very quick. Wow. I have to restart my Warframe.
Go for it.
Sure?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
might as
think
well.
I'm actually gonna.
I'll be
Just
right
wait
back
for
on
the kill.
Warframe because I need to restart it apparently.
Hey guys, there's a Wawa out here.
What? Llama?
I think I know where you are.
I don't know why we're talking about.
It might be the last one you'll ever see for a while.
No, there's one in Wildwood.
Well, I mean, yeah, at the very end.
Have you been to Wildwood?
Oh yeah. I used to go to one of my old like high school friends and grade school friends had a shore house in Avalon.
Oh, really? What'd they do with it? Can I buy it?
I have no idea. Haven't talked with him in a while.
I kind of want property out there.
It's nice. It's definitely cool being out there.
It's really chill. Except in the summer.
What the heck? I'm trying to type it in and it won't.
Actually, it might be kind of shitty to buy property out there right now, given that that's probably one of the first places that's gonna go when the ocean levels raise.
Okay, we good?
Like some of the roads out there are like a foot above sea level or something.
Oh, did you come back on or anything?
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm going to raid your sessions. Too late. I already joined you. Debating forming a weapon, but go ahead and vote.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'll vote for this.
A big headache, I'm sick, quick with it. For every lyric spitted, there are 6 critics who wait for me to slip with it. So quick, it's time to my stick, bury the wick. It's gonna explode any minute. Some lunatic lit it, and it's not Nelly. Do not tell me to stop yelling. When I stop selling, I'll quit. So stop dwelling, I'm not felling. You fuckers are not ready, cause I got jelly. Like just on you pot belly, this is destiny. Yes, money, I'm off running, so get off of me. I'm not slowing,
migration?
it's softening. No apology, no, suckers, I'm not sorry. You can
What
all sue
happened?
me. Y'all could be the cause of
It's probably picking either Sergio or me to host the mission.
Out. Good? I always have the
like it.
front, okay? I always got the front. Of course, just run right through me, Sergio. That's pleasant.
Are we waiting for a fourth guy?
No,
I'm
The
coming.
fourth guy.
I'm only an hour and out.
yeah, you might have time.
Yeah, probably.
The automatic, let's go. What you know, let's go automatic.
This road has nothing on it. Nothing on this road.
Yeah, you're definitely taking the back roads down there. That's like the one thing I remember.
Got
Going
10
down.
headshots already. And, oh,
Borough of Elmer? What? You can't name a town that. It's not a name. It's Borough of Elmer. I'm dead.
I mean, that's only slightly worse than King of Prussia.
That is true. I had a fit about compression too. And I just got used to it. I would not want to say Borough of Elmer. Let's go to Borough of Elmer, guys.
Like, am I slow? Those people that do that. Huh. I think I got him.
That sign lit up enough.
I want to see how these do.
It's a diner. Oh, I want to go there.
I want to see how these twin Grakatas do. Whoa, wow.
Grakata.
Grakata, yeah. Grakata. These are... Wow, they're doing damage, baby. These are doing damage up in here.
That sign just say protect your home from hellfire? Oh god.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
I've
There we
entered
go.
a Baptist town. There's a big sign that just said pizza, and underneath it says we
How many
deliver.
headshots? 34 headshots.
That's really all you need.
I mean, this is my spot. Video, you should know this. This is my spot. If you want to...
Keep trolling him.
Oh, seriously. I'm the master of this spot. Like, oh gosh, who just flashed? I think it was me. Yep, guys, everyone to me. Everyone to me, everyone to me.
Either that or you come to us.
Son of a gun.
Slow down to look at
Fine.
the giraffe.
Oh,
Ah, these are fine.
I'm just gonna radioactive them. I'm just radioactive them. They're just fighting. They're probably gonna... Oh, Oberon and Rocket. Why are they always after me, like, for real? I never... Thank you. You guys are the last guy. Can I get him? Or is it too late?
I think it's too late.
No. I wonder how many headshots I got. I love the from Grakata. I don't even know how to say that. I'm done. No. Really? Who cares? We can never have this aiming the ball. What? Out of bullets? Jeez, this is new. How in the world do I have no bullets left?
Personal problem?
Yeah. Wow. 56 headshots. Ready. Yeah, boy, you should sweat. Oh, whoops. What am I doing? I'm not even covering this place. No, we are not.
This is a Lion Pond Beats production.
Yeah. Savage. I'm a savage when it comes to this. You guys don't need my help anyway. For all of you.
This is a Lion Pond Beats production.
No one is gonna get past me.
There's so much like no diners on like
You Asians. Oh.
I'm pretty much writing like no, I've just still got a little ways to go. It's really hard to tell.
What does your GPS say?
My GPS does not know there is lightning.
89 kills.
That doesn't have anything to do with, well, not really, with the duration left of the drive.
Has 89
I've
headshots.
got like 58 minutes left.
How many?
89.
58? Wow.
Oh, 89.
I'm talking with Tony.
You're not the only one in this conversation, fucko.
Wow, bro. Yo, I could like ban you.
Okay.
Joking. What would I want to?
I don't know. That was your idea, not mine.
Conversation is terrible.
Alright, I could go
This guy wants
65
to go
miles an hour.
heavy on my the Gorgon. That's it. It's the Gorgon, right?
Reinforcements available.
Come on, let's do this.
It's really weird to have lightning everywhere, but there's no rain or any sort of precipitation whatsoever.
I think it's normal.
That's kind of normal, yeah.
It's normal, I guess. It's just weird.
I like it better when it's rainy but sunny.
Yeah, that's also weird.
Dude. Remy, really? Boy. Oh
Hey, he
wow.
needs to go down and at least pick up some loot.
True.
Actually, yeah, I should do that too.
Rubbing on my chain, blowing cloud magic. Smoke something with it, see if in that hat backwards. Late back, relax and talk mathematics. Later on, we test a little sex practice. Write my name on the wall.
Okay, well, my friend just sent me a text and there's a level 4 storm update.
Wow, it's that bad?
I don't know what that means.
Seriously, run out of bullets? Oh gosh, I ran out of bullets? It's fine. You don't have the...
Where is my phone? All the way behind me, holy crap.
Dude, I have no ammo. Somebody cover the front for in the meantime.
I'm going.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna die.
Okay, bro, I'm good. Back out. Boy, your Gorgon cannot do crap against my Kata. Kata? Is that a... Really? He has over on Prime? Show off. Hate people. Sometimes.
Yep, apparently we got really bad rain tonight.
I didn't even have to try anything. Really?
What are you complaining about over there?
Yeah, like this stupid Asians. I hate Asians sometimes. I too. I love you. Dude, I didn't need help.
I didn't even shoot anything.
Why are the Asians so hard to kill?
Whoa. That was massive failure.
Just a note. Our power grid's not the best, so if there's really lightning out there and I suddenly go silent, chances are I lost power.
Not bad.
I just saw my lights on, so...
Oh man, that's bad, dude. That's really bad. Unlike us.
I have my headphones on, so I don't know if there's lightning here or if that's just someone turning on something.
It's not me, I know that. Okay, I got 9 bullets left. I've left. Oh, shoot. Boy, please. What happens when you mess with me?
Frost bubble? Thank you.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, sometimes, like...
It's
oh,
hard sometimes.
Yeah, it is. Like, Jeez.
you're actually starting to take health damage.
Me? I'm good, man. I'm good. Don't worry. Fighting each other, so I'm good. They were, but now they are. I think I'm like. 154 headshots.
Wow, there's actually a traffic jam?
On the back road too? Wow.
I'm not on the back road anymore, but it's just really late.
Is this weekend like a special occasion or
Nope.
something?
It really isn't.
Yeah, I don't know then. Traffic jams at 10 o'clock at night's kinda weird. Unless you're coming up to like a non-easy pass toll booth. Or something weird like that. If those even exist anymore.
A boot? It exists.
Clears up by the time I get there.
Twin Gricatas are now 20.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm gonna be on the way.
Nope. Really, Remy?
Oh, road work.
Ha ha ha.
Great.
I love this.
This is the problem.
Oh, the rain is coming.
You're not gonna be able to beat me. All of a sudden, like the whole place just goes nuts. As soon as they see me take health damage.
More like those were the last guys alive.
Yeah. That's pretty much.
Stop raining.
And the Sentinels have no chance against Gun. You got a headshot from me, so you got ahead of yourself.
3 times.
What? 3
Made that
times?
joke 3 times.
What? He got his.
I don't know if he meant that as a joke, but I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, because he. Oh, that thing is dead. I'm gonna know it. Make it rain.
So it has just rained on this road.
What?
The road is like soaking wet, but there's no rain there.
Probably like a fast moving storm or something.
Crap.
Oh, I did not realize these people were here.
Yeah. Oh, what the?
I think that's it.
Is it?
What stuff? Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Try
that's
it
a good
again.
spot to leave.
That was really good. Wonder how many headshots I got.
That's the last of them. Objective is
179.
secure. Let's go home.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Come on, dude. I'm starting to get really. I'm a master now.
God, why would there even be roadwork right now? Looks like a terrible time to do roadwork.
Probably scheduled.
It is. It's really unfortunate that they're doing roadwork.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't seem to be raging yet.
It probably like either just raged or is about to.
I feel like I'm gonna come over a hill and face the thing like this one.
That's mission result. Do it again?
Sure.
One. Why is it that I can't see two? Come on, guys. He's only. Just invite you guys again. Let me equip some stuff, okay?
Go for it.
Okay. Minefield.
Yeah, the same mission, but let me do some first. With a mutation.
Find this.
I'm so paid, I'm so fly, yo baby daddy, dear respect me, black it eye, that no lie, I'm on my square, blowing circles in the air.
Dude, was that the corpus that we were fighting? All of them.
That was the void, so technically all of them. Oh, because I already have it. Whoops.
Look at me now, still in it, bitch. Yeah, I stand tall, no can fall. You pussy ass nigga can't touch a G. See me, don't speak, ain't nothing G. I'm in my zone, nigga, don't fuck with me. Aye. I'm in my zone, I'm feeling it. Stop blowing my
Traffic jam must be bad because it keeps bumping up my time.
round. They tried to shut us down
What?
about an hour ago.
The base keeps bumping up my time. My ETA has gone up by like a half hour. Now I've only got like 30 miles left. I'm not looking forward to this.
All this free liquor. Surrounded by so many women, one of these hoes might be your wife. She looking for a nigga that's ballin' so tight,
Hey.
might be her night. You know
How many of those do I have?
got through tuition at Onyx. Flip money fast like Sonic Rich, nigga, I speed.
Plenty.
Got a new car, I pay cash, got a new crib with a weed lamp. Chris bills, I need that.
Okay, you guys ready?
Almost. 1 second.
Yeah.
I came in with a bunch of goons and I'm leaving out this lady. I got your boo in my
Power strength drift mod.
my system loud, my weed loud, no hair clippers, I'm
Found it.
I'm in my zone, I'm feeling it. Stop blowing my
You hosting a game?
killing it.
Yeah, I invited you guys.
They tried to shut us down about an hour
Okay, where was
we still in this bitch.
Let me make sure I have what I need. That's why.
At least the rain has been like off and on.
Yeah, that's true, dude.
Mostly off.
That's a good thing. Especially for a long drive like that.
Who's watching my YouTube?
I am not. Hello, YouTube. No, it's not a channel. For
Wow.
no good reason.
Is it? Whoa.
I'll turn it on.
We all here? Jeez. Twin Ratatas, 1,500 ammo. We good? Go. Got the front again. One, two, three, four. Guys good over there?
We're fine.
Yeah.
One.
Really nothing over here, so. My reload was a little faster. My this
Tony
wing.
disappeared.
Huh?
Tony disappeared.
Oh wow. Where'd that service?
But I notice I'm not echoing anymore.
Hey!
Hopefully nothing happens to him then.
It's all in the line. Wow, we got him?
ain't the spot for the best hot dogs. You can get the F on, dog. I'm on my throne, I remain all alone in my lane. I'm as strong as they came. They were gone for they ain't. No, no, wanna hang, slap fire with them rap guys. They just wanna sabotage my hustle, show me that's why.
I feel like I'm like starting to become a headshot master. A bit. I wonder how many headshots, like world record, you know? No joke. I'm just putting all this lead right into their head. They're giving me lead head. Very horrible. You guys should stop. Anyone have ammo over there? Okay, word. Good. This goes down really, really quick. Good.
Oh wow, I actually managed to run out of ammo.
Yeah. You just hate it when that happens.
My fault for using a fire rate mod.
Yeah, mine too. Whoa. That's what you get for messing with me. Dude, what kind of weapon are you using?
It was one of the Boltor variants.
Voltor?
Yeah.
Oh, Prime? Or...
Telos.
Tello?
Same thing though. It's you get it from syndicates.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. I wish that there was like a thing where you could just get ammo as you... Oh. I just always
Wow, we never got a fourth guy. Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Dude, we're fine. Love this song. Give up your heart that's broken. Let that mistake pass on. Jeez, just bodies and bodies and bodies. Mine. Got him. Ah, headshot. Yeah, I think I'm the one that got him. 34 headshots. 74 headshots and 50. This is on auto, but like it's slow. It is powerful. Yeah, there's a lot of energy over here. I think I'm the one that got him, dude. Yep. Got him. There's a lot of energy over here.
Yep.
This is better than Call of Duty. No offense, Call of Duty players. It is, because the Call of Duty you actually see the gun. Like Warframe, you actually see the player. You know, that's what I like. We're not even shooting them. 111, 100, dude, 112 headshots. You guys are having fun, right? I think my next thing should be all about headshots. I'm just saying, like it should. Imperial Cheese invited me to a game. Dang it, bro.
Just one guy, we could leave and remake. Not a 10, but meh.
Dang.
I think you hit that in the wrong chat.
No, I did the right. Can somebody tell him that we're on the mission, I'll join him. If you can join. Why? What is going on with my gun? Ah, they're fighting each other. I confused them. What happened? Oh, what? Okay, apparently he needs help with an alert. Anybody know which one?
I mean, I'm playing this game. I haven't been keeping an eye on alerts. Alright, some good loot. Jeez. Crazy.
How you guys doing over there?
Perfectly fine for now.
Yeah.
Nice. There's some sort of full thing over here. Go Bronze System Blueprint. Ah, never mind. He said, oh well. I wonder what they've been a little quicker. Yeah. Do it.
Enough of them a shock, enough of them a sting. Every time I see them, I feel bling. Oh, what a thing. You're Magdalene, grinding and whining. And the mother them a moving a perfect timing. Them a dance and dance to the dance hall rhythm. And the way the tune nice, it finger licking. Like the rice and peas and chicken stuffing. That shit that make you move, mama. Get on the floor and leave the baby, mama. Do the glass, the glass, and the pajama. Shake your butt, mama. Come on now, mama. This that shit that make you move, mama. Get on the floor and move the baby, mama. Do the glass, the glass, and the pajama.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's Attack on Titan music, perfect. Oh boy. That's gonna go on fire. not bad, you know? $207 headshots. Nice. Who's shooting at me? You good? What the heck? Like all of a sudden they just got strong from nowhere and where you oh wow. People don't die easily.
It's wave 20, so.
Huh? Yeah, they are actually.
Or it starts getting harder. Harder, I should say.
Oops, yeah. I tried. I tried. It didn't work.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think I'm out.
Okay, word.
Alright.
Night.
228 headshots, dude. Fire
Getting
record
a little crazy
speed.
with this.
What do you mean? Crazy. It's pretty impressive if I do say so myself. Then other people are like, oh wow. Yeah. 128. Okay, well bro. I think that's good for me, man. Oh.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll probably head out too. See you around, I guess.
Well. Well, it's just me and me again. Let's do this. So that, and then do that. Steady hands, we already have. Oh man. Critical chance. Critical chance, where are you? Boom. My favorite awesome gun. Oh, that's why my SOC is horrible. Ah, my car. Oh man. Well, speed trigger. Age level this job. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Guess I'll just go myself and do it. Go with public. I did my best to farm for it and can't do much about it. Void traces? Nah, I don't need it. Find a squaw. No.
We the motherfucking best, nigga. AC. Yeah. So.
Alone channel off.
Really?
I stay smoking on Benjamin. I fuck bitches from different races. You get money, they started hating. I woke up in a new Bugatti. 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 I woke up in a new Bugatti.
Niggas be hating on rich as a bitch. 100K I spun that on my wrist. $200 spun that on your bitch. You and your mama put that on my list. Or let me go on that foreign again. Killing the scene, bring the core in the end. Murder she wrote, swallow a choke. Hit her and go on, we'll call her again. Subverted in my own crib as big as a college. Smoke me a pound of the loudest. Whipping some shit with no mileage. Diamonds cost me a fortune. Them horses all in them porches. You pussies can't handle afford it. 4,200 my mortgage. Falling on niggas like Corbett. Fuck all you haters, you morbid. Only the real get a piece of the plate. Raping my city and running my state. Give me a pistol, they run with the cake. Niggas won't peek and I think it's just place.
I can look into you a Haitian. I stay smoking on Benjamin. I fuck bitches from different races. You get money, they started hating. I woke up in a new Bugatti. 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 I woke up in a new Bugatti.
And I'm at it again. That for bringing tragedy in. Cop me a chain, your salary spent. Niggas this week bring them cavities in. Counting money, hourly trend. Rolling them skinny like Olsen twins. Niggas is squares, cabinet bins. Neck full of gold.
Actually, gonna need help, I bet. Yep, that's what I thought.
Push a button on his broke boys. That's detonation. Walk the road to riches bare feet. I watch mama struggle, now she living jail free. That's why I hustle for that half a key, that's 12 G's. I'm trying to bubble every summer under LD. You gotta love me, I got shooters out the D-League. Signing bone and hit that man ass from 30 feet. Left in the puddle, fingerprints is on 100 mil. That's what it is.
I come looking for you ahead. So I been smoking on good man. I put bitches from the I woke up in a new Bugatti. 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 I woke up in a new Bugatti.
This is why I do these missions alone. These newbies wanna like extract as soon as they get the reward. And how it works. Not how it works. 6 headshots, not bad, man. But good thing, if I do this mission on my own, there's like no chance of me like getting a good type.
Hey yo, it's the Flea White rapper, KJ52 aka Steve Norton, hip hop. Yo, hey yo, now bring it. Who else your favorite white guy? Who else? A silly man with light skin and the light eyes. Really, man, who else could drive by in a minivan but still keep it quite fly? Who's that? Cause what you see is what you get, and I flow like H2O, so call me Aqua Fresh.
Yes, dude, how you doing?
College dropout, KJ West. I ain't trying to act hard. I can care less about the fat rims on the fat car. I got Christ and I don't need nothing more. Just want enough money to put Starbucks in my backyard. See, I ain't trying to blow up. I'm trying to get my wife a coffee and Dunkin' Donuts. Still playing talk. I'm probably never grow up. This is who I am, man. And you know what else?
I suspected they might try this.
Or nothing else, cause you really
Stand by
don't
for
matter.
support. I delivered the Hexaport capsule to the area.
Try to be an actor.
Activating it will buy you more time. Crucial life support. Be on the lookout.
Really? Anyone? Hello?
Area life support.
I'm in the back working on them.
Caught a case, you can't be free. Till you bought the rape, you can't be me. Pop a lock and safe, I made the key. I start to Jason pray for me. Only rock the Jason made believe. Only stock I got to pay is me. All the songs played it straight to me. Y'all think the shit I say is free. Please, nigga, I be ballin'. The best friend like a fucking room dog, big enough to fit you all in. Been going hard since H-A-R-D, even got started. Y'all burden with a dog bitch, and a nigga want another brain dog, and I swear this shit is just LeBron lit. Please, my nigga, they like it and I got the keys, my nigga. The 20, 50, 100 money machine, my nigga. Just ease, my nigga. Just, yeah. My chicken so foreign that helping the luggage to go to your visa, nigga. I come from the streets and nigga, the life that I lead, my nigga. Even Lil Ray is getting pesos. Jewish lawyer get the case closed. Too much cake up in the bank rolls. Getting money like a scammer, nigga. That just shit a check up out of Chase, though. And hit another BOA, that
it's like 10 years of the day old. Yeah, the quicker we kill them, the quicker my niggas will send out. Yeah, if I like how I fly, and I fuck in the city, I'm in, dog. Rolls Royce gave her no choice. All of you bitches get in, dog. And all of you bitches go tell me you fucking before this iPhone pinball. Hit it like I'm playing pinball. Fuck it till I make a wig fall. 40 item got me sitting tall. Money longer than any item that you can find at a bigger tall. Why you winning, got it clicking ball. Now this shit will never give us all. Man, fucking now this shit is on. Niggas and park at the Timmy's and trap out that motherfucker. We buy coffee every hour so they don't kick us right back out that motherfucker. We back to back out that motherfucker. And we back to back with the stallions. And we white on white with the coupe and brick. And we black on medallions. That's way out in London, they calling me fam. Killing all the competition, nigga, yeah, they going harder than can. Sweating all in they practice. I ain't even hopped out the van. My heart feels like it's so dog, I gotta call it a 10, man. Shorty, she gave me the pussy was good, and I had to call her my man. Normally I never do that, but I had to call her my man. See, I had to run up the bands. See, I was the one in the stands. Shorty, she shitted on me when I see her. I know I'ma come in the land. It's Fargo, Cargo, Bossy, Largo. Fuck that, I had that, crash that. Y'all know, find me, I'm Waldo. I'm here for bread, what are y'all for? Just to say you don't buy Molly, when none of y'all rock town for. Swag different, jet lag different. I dated Trina. If you want to talk bad bitches, bought the rave, no album out. Niggas know what the album about. Drop head in the south and out. Head knocks all out my house. X want my last name. Rather keep my mouth out. Equalize shit, super freak shit, super beast when that mouth come out. Fresh to death, I'm RP. Had to get a swag mouth to mouth. She just ripped the tag out the couch. I just kicked her back out the house. Low-mo, logo. Had to fuck her with a GoPro. Keep the shit, leak the shit. That's what we call promo. All the shooters, they in go mode. Me, I'm pulling in the fall, bro. All the shooters, they in Volvos. Rolling up and smoking Marlboros, yeah. They don't like me, but they gon' respect me. Yeah, they don't like me, but can't no one check me. Yeah, cause I got it on my own nigga. So it's motherfucking pope niggas. Yeah, they ain't gon' like me, dawg. Hey, Javi, tell them niggas I'm going for 10 million, nigga.
This is a line on
Get ready for a capsule.
Another life support
capsule.
Guys have warning. Boy, find your own. Of course, come on. Real. The newbies need to get together well. There's only one. Can't shoot through you.
We always ready to ride, cause with my gang. We do what we gotta do and don't complain.
Guys, this is part 2 of the survival. You guys, no. Going up again. Okay.
And shorty so bad, I asked her if she rep the gang, she said facts. Gang, and we about to go up. Switching lanes, it's a thing every time we show up. You a lame, and you so below us. Bet your hoe she know us, cause you know we glowed up. Stay down. Came up. Stay down. Came up. Gang up.
Whenever you're gonna do stuff. Guys, let's extract. I gotta go to bed. Okay, yo guys, let's go. I think I got the most headshots. Oh, I did get the most headshots. And the most kills. Fire,